Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Raphael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning, good morning. I am in San Diego this morning. It happens to be 5:30 a.m. and I did it 5:30 because I know I bring this show to you guys live in New York at 8:30 a.m. I just thought I'd share this opportunity to tell you that intuition is probably one of the most important key elements that we have. Sometimes we need to know that intuition. Let me show you my room. It's pretty cool. So here I am. Of course, I made my bed this morning, right? That's one of the, I probably didn't do it as good as the people who do it here, but I still need to make my bed. And I have my door open. It is a little dark out there, but there's some cool spots that we can look into. So this is a pretty decent, nice room. It's a bungalow, actually, that I have all to myself. It's a separate building from everyone here. So thank you for joining me today. So, like I said, intuition. I have a great new friend that we just started doing shows together, and she even texted me. She's in Australia, and she said, "Oh, I didn't realize we're doing a show." I said, "No, I'm going to share your recording that you did with my audience because I didn't want to inconvenience her again." So I said, we have another show coming up, the Seer Show, very soon. So intuition, how well do you use it? And she's going to talk about intuition, but other topics, other areas that are going to help us all. She's a great, great person. Let me start that video with Amanda. I'm going to come back at the end and share maybe some insight with you. All right, let's go for it. Here is Amanda. 1 second, I'm just setting it up. Thank you, and let's take a listen. Thank you so much, Amanda, for joining me on New Tip Daily. I love your energy. I love what you're doing and always showing up with that amazing smile, right? And what is your tip today?
Yeah, look, firstly, before we get into it, I do have to say I've been so blessed to be introduced to you. So I feel exactly the same way. Just, yeah, hand on heart, it's amazing. For me, it really is about learning that our body always knows the answer. We always have that internal depth of awareness of what is right for us, even if it doesn't seem right to everybody else. I know right through my life, I had spot on intuition. I had the signs and the symbols and all of the stuff coming in. And as much as I heard it, I didn't listen to it. I did not trust it because I was so busy putting my awareness outside of myself. And because I was so busy putting my awareness outside of myself, I trusted and acted on other people's intuition. If it was even intuition, sometimes it was just manipulation or control or whatever. And I never acted on my own intuition. And I know if I'd acted on my intuition, my life would have been completely different. Now, I'm not saying that my life was, bad for doing it, but I could have saved myself a lot of trauma, a lot of heartache, a lot of money in the healing I've done, let's face it. And I feel like I would have had a much easier ride of what did actually happen. And so, if we ask the question, I don't know, my boss is an ass and I'm bashing my head against a wall and I feel like I'm not seen and I'm not heard and we talk to other people about that stuff. But guess
I lost you for a minute. Amanda.
I'm
I
back.
lost you again. You're talking
Yes,
about your
I'm
boss.
back. Yes. So I was just saying, if we ask those questions about our boss, we actually know the answer.
Mm.
We know we deserve better. And what stops us acting on that? One, maybe we're afraid that we're not going to find anything as good, or maybe we're afraid that we won't get something else at all. But oftentimes I think it's because we would like our best friend to stand up, or the people that we're survey monkeying about it to stand up and go, I'll write that letter for you. And by the way, here's another job. And, we're wanting other people to take action because we're too afraid to do it ourselves. It's the same with a relationship. Often we will go to our friends and go, oh, this is happening and this is happening and this is happening. Now, why are we saying that? We know the answer. We know that, maybe it's not right for us, or maybe we need to change, or maybe we'd like them to change, but we can't influence that change, or whatever it is. But from the moment I was asking other people whether my relationship was strange, weird, or normal, or whatever those words were that I was using, I knew there was something fundamentally wrong with it. I just didn't have the courage to act on that intuition. And since I've done the healing, since I've worked with a multitude of practitioners in a multitude of modalities, I trust my intuition more. And I don't need them to tell me what to act on. They'll help me clear the story sitting around it. They will help me shift my vibrational frequency, but I'm the one with the answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I now understand what it takes for me to slow down enough to hear it. Because when all of the noise outside ourselves is so loud and flashing and exciting and fast, we don't slow down enough to tune in. But when we do, and we feel or we hear or we see the guidance, or we know the guidance, or we smell it or taste it, and then we actually pay attention to it, and we recognize that we wouldn't be getting that guidance if it wasn't meant for us, and then we take those action steps, oh my God, our life changes. Some of the things I've done, I swear people are looking at me going, oh my God, she's crazy. What the hell is she doing that for? And yet it has brought so much magic and wonder and awe and mystery and love into my life that I am so grateful every day that I do take that time to slow down.
And I love, by the way, it's all in your amazing book. Probably your transformation and getting that intuition, getting to understand who you are, and we talked about the gut feeling, right? So many people don't listen to that intuition, to that gut feeling. Later on, they have regret, or they wish they would have listened, right? Because I believe that whatever action we take is an action, even if you do nothing. That's still an action, right?
Absolutely. 100%. And I think it's really interesting that you say that, because I got all that guidance and I did not act on it. And I do have regrets. I have massive regrets. And at the same time, and I think this is where paradox comes into our healing and our spirituality and our life, I regret it so much not acting on that intuition. And also, not acting on that intuition was the best gift I could have gotten, because I have 2 beautiful children. I have been to hell and back with my spiritual journey, with life itself. I have, I've got the bloody fingernails, I've got the bruises, I've got the scars to prove that I've lived. And I have the wisdom and insight from walking a less than easy path that allows me now to be of service to others. So as much as I have regrets, and I think this is that thing where I disagree with that whole no regrets, love and light kind of stuff. Regrets inform us. My regret of staying in an abusive relationship informed my new relationship. And I don't put up with that same stuff. Not that I get it anyway, because it's not a vibrational match. But I just won't put up with it anymore. The things that I let slide just don't slide. And also, I've managed to attract someone who wouldn't even dare go there.
That's
It's
beautiful.
so alien. And so you can see that, yes, the regrets are there, and also they've informed where I am now. And so it is that acceptance that, yeah, okay, I didn't listen to my intuition. My life could have been a lot simpler, a lot easier in so many ways. And also, I love that I've walked the path I have because it's led me to where I am.
You had the warrior's path, right? Now you have the warrior walk, if
Yeah.
you will, right? where you are now tall and erect and beautiful because you found that. And you know, when I think when people say they have no regrets,
Mm.
there's a couple of ways you can look at it. The way I see it is that you can't change what has happened. So therefore, I don't regret what's happened. It's made me stronger, right? It's
Yeah.
given you that armor, if you will, because you're not going to accept
Yeah.
what was before.
Mm.
You only
Yeah.
accept what you want now, right? So that you do that warrior walk, and you walk with that stride of, this is the life I want.
Yeah.
Right? It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, and it doesn't come without some scraped knees and some hard times and some challenges, because that is what's informed our process to get us where we are. And in some ways, that makes the process more beautiful because it has been painful. It has been brutal at times. And I think it is that paradox and that beautiful multitude of experience from life. We need the color and the depth and the, I had this funny conversation with somebody the other day, and she's like, oh, somebody called me colorful. And I went, don't you want to be colorful? Isn't that a good thing? If you think of our life as a tapestry, we want dark and light and shadow and texture and highlights and color and all the different things. I know for me, in my past life, my previous life before this awakening, I was that beige rug that was avoiding color and texture and depth and clarity and all of those things because she wasn't sure of herself, and she was trying to make herself fit into every situation the way that she thought other people wanted her to fit. And
People pleaser, right?
oh my God, and then some. And then some. And when you think about people pleasing, it's automatically a misaligned relationship because we are putting ourselves as inferior and other people as superior who deserve more than us. And that's why we bust our ass trying to make them happy. But we're not inferior to anybody. We may have different things to learn. You and I have completely different skill sets. I can learn from you. You can learn from me. No one's better or worse.
Right.
And I think it doesn't matter who you come across. I'm working with some young kids at the moment who are teaching me so damn much.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're little kids and they look at the world so differently.
Way
So
different.
I think, we're not looking at a hierarchical perspective of I'm older and, you've got these qualifications and all the rest of it. It really is that global model where everybody has a place in the globe and we all shift and change and we can all learn and teach and be a mentor and a mentee and everything at the same time.
Mm.
And our intuition plays into that because we all have our own way of reading the energy of the world and making our own meaning from it, and therefore sharing that meaning from it. And I think that's what adds that color and texture and vibrancy to what we're
Mm.
experiencing.
Yeah. When you think, and you talked about color and vibrancy, right? When we think about the colors, and you talked about being that beige rug, right?
Yeah.
It's when we have color, right? When we can actually paint our own picture,
Yeah.
paint our own future by the actions we take every single day.
Yeah.
Amanda, I got to tell you, your color is bright and beautiful, right?
Thank
So,
you.
but here's the thing, right? You
Mm.
talked about how you learn from the little kids. Can I
Yeah.
tell you, it's because you're open to the possibilities of someone else sharing. And you, like myself, I can tell you're a people watcher.
Mm.
I love to watch, even if I'm not in it, I love to watch interactions
Yeah.
with people, whether they're in a heated conversation or in a loving embrace,
Mm.
because everyone tells a story, right?
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing when you can actually understand that sometimes, even with your partner, and I know you have an amazing partner,
Mm.
sometimes you don't have to speak
Yeah.
to get them, and
Yeah.
they get you, right? That's connection for sure.
Mm. Absolutely. He often turns around to me and says, "Get out of my head." Because I'll say something and he's like, "Damn you, you're in there again." So absolutely. And I'll be the same with him. It's like, get out of my head. But again, when you're reading it and when you're connected to somebody and when you're invested in them,
Right.
it is that magical. Even when I had an altercation the other week where somebody was being quite aggressive towards me, I could see that hurt little child inside.
Mm.
I could see the angry teenager.
Mhm.
And I had love and compassion,
Right.
and I also didn't put up with that behavior. And so there was this both and more, not an this or that. I could see all of it going on.
Mm.
And it went to, okay, I need to take myself out of here because this is getting dangerous.
Mm.
And I still can see that hurt little child inside who just needed to be picked up and seen and cuddled.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what that's what I get from what you say about that people observer is you're not just seeing what's happening on the surface, you're seeing multitudes of levels deep and being able to extend love and compassion to that. And also understanding when it's our hurt child or our angry teenager coming to the surface as well and going, oh, okay, you're here. What are you here to tell me?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I always notice is when someone can truly understand a situation that's going on, like you did, right? You are that warrior, and even though you needed to get out of there, you still had compassion. You had that big heart and that armor of yours, right? Because you still have to wear your armor around, and I suggest we wear our armor around everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is, because we can still have the compassion, we can still have our heart, and because we are susceptible to pain, we are susceptible to anger, emotions, and all that. And one of the things I always tell, like especially little kids, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be mad. Even it's okay to be mad at your parents, but that doesn't mean you have to act out on that emotion. You can even tell your parents, "Hey, mom, dad, whatever, I am mad. I don't like what you just did." But if you learn to express yourself at an early age, then that's when we can help someone. That's why I love teaching kids, and actually I love teaching anyone who's willing to listen, because if we can change one person's perspective on how they see the world, that the world is a beautiful place to be in, and
Yeah.
we can make it even more beautiful by our actions, then man, my life is awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Look, it's interesting that you say that because I think it was at the end of last year, I cut all of my goals down to one goal and all of my values down to one value. And that one value is self-mastery,
Mm,
which is, that idea that the more I love myself and the more I can master my own reactions and understand why they're there, the more compassion and empathy I have for everybody else. It makes me a better human to know what's going on under my surface. And my one goal was about being in divine service to that conscious collective. And so again, if I'm not fueling my body correctly, or if I'm not exercising enough, or if I'm actually not in divine service.
mm,
And so everything I do sits under those two things, whether it be for work or personally, or, in any facet of my life, they're the two things I hold it up to. And it's fascinating to look at yourself when you're looking at that. I should say being of service, not being in service, because to me, being in service again creates that misalignment. Whereas when you're of service to somebody, I think it's much more equal, and I can be of service to you and you can be of service to me, and it's a reciprocal relationship.
mhm.
And I think it is really important with that vulnerability aspect. And, I think with the armor, we need to know when it's holding us back and potentially when we do need to take it off. And that goes with discernment. It goes with maturity. It goes with growth. It goes with not being afraid to see the darkness within ourselves and learning to love that and shine the light on it. Gives us the knowledge of what we need to wear and when, and how much armor we need or how little armor we need.
Without a
So,
doubt.
yeah.
Oh my God, so many tips you gave.
Yeah, you said it was just a top tip day.
No,
but,
it's
I can't
good.
help myself.
But let's go ahead and recap. Your most important tip was definitely intuition, understanding what's going on and how you should act, right?
Yeah. We need to act on our intuition. Like I say, my life would have been so different if I'd acted on all of those instincts I got, because I saw it so clearly. And I just didn't trust myself, and I didn't believe it, and I didn't act on it.
Yeah.
100%.
Intuition. Everybody, listen to your gut.
Yes.
Right.
You know all the answers. If you are wise enough to ask yourself the question, you already know the answer. You may not want to tell yourself it's the answer, but you know it. Yeah.
And always surround yourself with people who have your back, right? Who are there for you. And just, I think meditation will probably impact your intuition. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, 100%. I think anything where you slow down, it doesn't. And I used to get a bit peeved because I thought meditation was literally just sitting on my mat and omming into the, into the ether. But a lot of my meditations are walking meditations now, or moving meditations, or laying down or sitting. It's just those moments of going in and disconnecting from all the noise around you to read the temperature, the texture of your body. And I think I got it so, not that I like right or wrong, but I got it so wrong for so long because I thought I had to do it a prescribed way in a set environment. And I think the more I've taken that pressure off myself, actually, the more time I spend in meditation, because I'm not having all these shoulds and musts and parameters. And so I can meditate just staring off out the window, or drinking my coffee and smelling it and having it go down my throat, or in those little moments of the day, they become meditative moments.
That's beautiful. Every moment is one to cherish, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Amanda, thank you so much for joining me today on You Tip Daily. Great tips, great advice. You definitely are a sage, my friend.
Thank you so much. Back at you. It is just so wonderful to be connected, and I cannot wait to be back with you soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Have an
Thank you.
amazing day.
Yeah. You too. Blessings.
Blessings.